Well, lovers of the avocado fruits must surely be
salivating.
Salivating. That's the word I was looking for. Salivating, because that's what we have here in studio today. We have the very top brand in Kenya of avocado here with us in studio. This is Hass. It's a particular type. I'm learning a lot about this fruit this morning. And this is the type that the Chinese market is willing to accept from Kenyan farmers. We'll find out about which other types are also acceptable across the world as well. But that's the discussion we're having today. And we want to find out from you, what questions do you have about avocado growing and avocado exports? Bearing in mind, Kenya now has access to 2 markets, one in Mauritius, the other in China. Plus, Kenyans are exporting avocados all over the world as well. And we'll be finding out some of the countries. What questions might you have? Our experts are here in studio across the board, and they'll be willing to answer those questions. 22422 is our SMS line.
Yeah, you can call in 0719777777 as well at Citizen TV Kenya. Trevor Mbija Twaiga Moura at Zinzi K. Hashtag is Daybreak. Ask us any questions you may have. We've just learned that there are over 150 types.
My goodness, varieties
of avocados.
That's right.
Yes, and in Kenya we grow about 4 of them.
About 4 or 5. That's right.
And there's another one called Jumbo, which is the traditional one. The one that our colleagues are saying at Wakona Gideri, so we just bring avocado right now. And this is what we have right now is Hass. Goes to Europe and China, but there's also another type called Fuerte, which goes to the Middle East.
That's right. And those are the 2 most popular exports from Kenya. And let's start by getting a feel from our experts of how to tell the difference between, okay, let's talk about Hass and Fuerte, and maybe I'll start with you, Maina, and just walk us through what is peculiar or specific about the Hass avocado and the Fuerte one, and why are they the ones that are in demand, you know, by foreign markets?
Number one, the difference between Hass and Fuerte is that Fuerte has got a pear-like shape and it's green, and when it is ripe it remains green. The skin is smooth. Okay. Hass, what we've got here, the
Hass
skin
has a texture. Now you can even grab one and just
it's rough.
Yeah.
The skin texture looks rough, and
when hold it up like this for the benefit of our camera.
Where the skin is rough, and when it is ripe it turns purple. And the shape you can see is a bit different from the pear shape for the Fuerte. Now that is the difference in terms of the color and the shape, but in terms of taste, this tastes much better. Okay. It has a higher oil content than the Fuerte, and this is the one that is in big demand in Europe mainly. It's the same ones that the Chinese want. And also, traditionally, we've been shipping that to Europe as well as Asia. We are shipping to Hong Kong, we're shipping to Russia, we're also shipping some to Malaysia and Singapore. So this is in big demand. The other thing about it is that it is hardy. It's able to tolerate differences in temperatures much better than the other one, because these avocados, the way you see them, after packing, they'll be put in a container, taken to Mombasa, and they will be shipped through sea for about 4 to 5 weeks before they get to the
4 to 5 weeks.
4 to 5 weeks, yes.
So they need to be really hardy.
Yes. So
Hosea, come in. How many of your members are involved in this, and what potential do you see?
There are 150 companies in Kenya that deal in avocado exports to various destinations in the world, and there is tremendous potential in avocado. I think it's important to say that this particular fruit originally came from Mexico, West Indies, and Guatemala, and it is now grown in Kenya, introduced in South Africa in the 16th century by the settlers, introduced in Kenya much later, and it grows literally between 0 to 250 meters above sea level. I mean, Mexico is about 1,800 meters above sea level. Most counties in Kenya, you know, are in that range of between 1,000 to 2,000 meters above sea level. So we can grow these avocados literally everywhere in Kenya. From Murang'a to Kitale, you know, we can grow it in parts of Kambani, and part of Northeastern. As long as you have water and good soils, avocado is a tropical crop, so there is tremendous potential in terms of growing it.
How much water are you talking about?
Avocado needs an average of 25 millimeters of rainfall every week. I mean, basically. So where we receive rainfall of between 700 millimeters to 1,500 millimeters, annually, you can grow avocado.
Do farmers have this information? Because it sounds quite technical. My grandfather at home wants to grow this avocado. Does he know? Does he have this information? Is it available to them?
Well, the information about rainfall patterns is available from the meteorological department. It's also available from the county crops officers. So farmers just need to engage with the counties, and the counties need to build capacity with respect to the requirements for avocado. And also in terms of temperature, avocados can grow somewhere between 7 degrees Celsius and 30 degrees Celsius, the optimum being somewhere between 15 and 20 degrees Celsius.
So essentially we're saying it's not going to be grown everywhere in Kenya.
It's not everywhere.
Don't wake up one day and decide to grow avocados because now we're exporting to China.
No. I mean, you can't grow avocado literally everywhere because you can't grow it in a desert. It needs water. People have made attempts to grow avocados in places like Narok. It has grown, but because of the little rainfall received per season in such areas, then it limits your potential for growth, because it's a fruit. It needs water to be able to fill up.
Can I add something on that, on the growing? First, when we talk of the growing conditions, the avocados will not grow in areas that have got temperatures consistently above 30 degrees for more than 4 months. So you're talking of northeastern, if you're specific, some parts of eastern like Makueni, some parts of Rift Valley like Baringo, and those areas that are hot. But what happens is that the areas that are cooler for the purpose of avocado, where you can grow potatoes, you can grow cabbages, tea, coffee and all that, the cooler areas, the high rises, they're going to do quite well.
Okay. Madam Esther, I'd like to bring you in on this, and you had alluded to part of it. One of the hurdles that Kenya is facing is the protocol on sanitary requirements. What are some of the loopholes that are there on this particular industry, on the avocado? What are some of the things the farmers should look out for, and what are you doing to counter those?
Maybe first is to demystify what sanitary and phytosanitary is. When we talk about sanitary, we are talking just about the hygiene. Don't contaminate that food with microorganisms. Shouldn't even be dirty. Just observe the hygiene part of it, as we do when we're preparing our foods. When you talk about phytosanitary, and on the sanitary, we are more concerned and focused about the the human health. So you don't want people to eat that avocado after you have handled it, and then they get sick. So on sanitary, we are concerned about two issues: the microorganisms and also the pesticide residue in the plant. For example, let's say there were some diseases affecting the plant and you sprayed with a pesticide. You should make sure that you wait for the days that are recommended for that pesticide before you harvest, so that science has proved that at that time the pesticide will not be, it will have broken down, it won't be detected on the fruit. But we are concerned about people who may harvest when they have not observed the time needed for you to wait before you harvest, because that pesticide now will poison the person who is eating the fruit. That is sanitary. On phytosanitary or plant health, we are dealing with the issues of the plant itself. So like human beings or animals, plants also get sick, or there are other organisms that attack them. And these ones will reduce the quality of the plant, and also they make the plant be risky in that it can carry that pest from one country to another.
Okay. I want you to hold there because we have a call on the line. Obiri from Kisii, welcome to Daybreak. Thank you for calling in. What is your question or comment, Obiri? Okay, we've lost Obiri on the line. Esther, let me come back to you and get this from you. So let's talk a little bit about Mauritius and China. Mauritius, we're told, had banned our avocado exports for 3 years. What were their key concerns and how have they been resolved?
The concerns were on phytosanitary, and what happens is that if people hear that you have a new pest, just hearing, not even the pest attacking the plant, but just hearing that, that fruit fly has been introduced into Kenya, that's what Mauritius did. They just banned our market. In 2003, we had a pest that was reported by scientists, Bactocera invadens. It's a fruit fly When I talk about fruit fly, it's an insect that looks like house fly.
Yeah.
So you can hear the fly.
Hold that thought again. We have Obiri again from Kisii. Obiri, good morning. Obiri, go ahead with your comment or question.
Good morning, sir. How is you?
Yes, we're good. How are you?
Sasa ndio wametuletea maneno ya avocado na inatakikana kwamba tupande.
Yes.
Sasa how long will it take, because kuna wengi ambao watapata avocado.
Sorry, rudia swali tena.
Tuko na hii avocado sasa ndio wametuletea mtaji wa avocado, exportation of avocado. Na kuna wale ambao hawana hiyo quality hiyo avocado. Itaipanda lini, when then ikuwe transported. Ama wangetuambia kitambo, hivi pande kitambo, hivi ikuwe. Sasa wakienda kufanya marketing, kwamba avocado now tayari nyingi, itaongeza.
All right, Obiri, we'll fix that sound issue for a bit.
I think she basically wants to know, so I guess someone has brought them avocado seeds or something, from what it sounds like. Maybe, I don't know, a local politician who knows, and she's asking, now that they are here, how do we plant them? How do we transport them? She just wants basic knowledge, is what I've been able to get from an unclear phone call. Do you want to weigh in before I come to you briefly? Have you had the question?
Yes, I think she's asking how she handles it. I think for the seedling, what you need to do is make sure, because most of the time it's in the soil and in a bag, make sure that you handle it properly so that the soil doesn't fall off. Kwa sababu hiyo mchanga ikitoka, mizizi itakauka. Alafu wakati unapanda, shimba shimo 60 centimeter deep, wide. Alafu utoe hiyo mchanga, separate mchanga ya juu na hiyo ingine ya chini kidogo. Alafu wakati unapanda, hii mchanga ya juu changanyisha na manure, alafu upande, alafu weke hii mchanga ingine.
Okay.
Yeah, right. I just want to add on that. You know, at FPIC we have a training manual for avocado, and so we train farmers on how to grow, how to take care of avocados, and how to do all this. I suspect probably in Kisii what is happening is that the county government could be giving out seedlings, and they just need to be encouraged to give out the correct seedlings, because there are a lot of people in this country who have seedlings, but nobody has certified them to ensure that they are actually correctly done with the correct rootstock and with the correct scion, so that we have what we call a grafted avocado that is well done, that will be able to take off and be mature in 3 to 4 years.
All right.
And
is this information available online?
Yes, it's available.
Okay. And we have Peter. Peter is calling in from Makueni. Patrick from Makueni. Sorry, I beg your pardon. Patrick, good morning. Go ahead with your question or comment, Patrick.
Good morning. Thank you for picking my phone.
Yes.
I wanted to know where we get this avocado.
Yes, go ahead.
Where you get them?
Yeah, because I think they are grafted, they are not grafted.
Okay. We'll find out from Hosea right now. Hosea was actually speaking about it. He's wondering, Patrick is wondering where to get the avocado.
Yes, there are many certified nurseries, and Dr. Kimani here can talk about them. There are many certified nurseries in this country that have available, avocados. They are not sufficient because we have a shortage of seedlings. But we need to up our game, and that's why we are talking about the opportunities for young people, for example, to get into the production of avocado seedlings. The only challenge is that, as you are aware, NEMA has banned the use of plastic paper. It took us a while last year to convince the management of NEMA that we have no alternative for the tubing for the avocado, and so they have given us, as a country, up to the 31st of December 2019 to get an alternative. But I don't know where we are going to get an alternative for that tubing.
No hope, no hope in sight.
No, we're looking forward to any. This is where we're talking about science and innovation. Let's have innovators come up with the alternatives.
Hang on. I'll come to you, sir. Let's get Peter in as well. What are your thoughts on this?
Yes, actually, what I wanted to say is probably maybe where we should have begun is to say why Kenya is doing a drive on avocado.
Okay.
As one of the export products. You know, as a country, we are trying to deal with a trade deficit today of about 1.1 trillion Kenya shillings. And various products have actually been identified for promotion. And this is one of them. And some of the markets we are looking at, for example, is Asia. That's why we are in China, trying to find a market for China, for Kenyan avocados or Kenyan products. Of course, Africa, that's why we are in Mauritius. And for your information, South Africa is the leading buyer of avocados within the continent. And also the US.
Okay.
Yes, okay. And the US is the leading buyer of Kenyan avocados. In 2017, actually, they bought 40% of Kenyan dried and fresh avocados.
Okay.
So it's just part of the government strategy to see how can we increase foreign exchange. And we are targeting avocado. And of course, from our travel during the verification mission with KVIS recently, we have found out that these products actually can be grown, as my panelists have said here, can also be grown along river basins. You know, the bottom line for high productivity in avocado is water. And in all farms we visited, either in Moranga or in Mountain.
Hold your thought on where it can be grown, because we have a lot of interest on this. People are calling in.
Ruben,
Ruben from Nakuru is also calling in. Ruben, good morning. Go ahead, the comment or question.
Okay, good morning to you all.
Yes.
Nafikiri mnanipata kabisa. Naitwa Ruben Korir kutoka upande wa Olenguruoni, Nakuru, whereby hii mambo ya avocado huwa tunapendelea sana, lakini hata tunapoongea nanyi sasa hivi niko na avocado miti 13, lakini hivi majuzi tuliweza kuambiwa kwamba kuna farati hivi aina ya hash ambayo imeshaingia. Ndio ningependa kujua haya zaidi kuhusu hiyo mimea, na vile tena swali langu ni kwamba unajua shida letu tukiwa wakulima ni kwamba mambo ya market tunaweza pata kweli nafasi ya kupanda, lakini huwa tunaweza kosa market. Na ya pili tena ni mbegu yenyewe, tunaweza danganywa kwamba eti hivi na hivi, sijui mmefanya research kabisa mkapata hiyo mimea huwa inapatikana na mbegu yake iko sawa kabisa. Ni hayo tu machache, asante na karibu, tunaitegea kabisa na kutazama System TV. Asante.
Ruben,
thank you so much, Ruben. Asante sana.
So I think his questions were on market knowledge. You want to weigh in on
yes,
market?
Yes, I can weigh in on that one. Because you see, even some of our farmers, a lot we meet every now and then, ask about, they give us a question that if, for example, maize is dry, and sometimes we hear that maize go bad, then what happens to fresh avocados? So then it brings the question of, you know, setting up infrastructure to see that our avocados, which are actually fresh, are frozen, or they are kept in an environment where they cannot go bad. And in terms of ensuring that markets are actually fixed, what is going to happen, because what is going to happen, and that is what is being planned right now, is to look for already existing exporters. We know existing exporters of these products, and what is going to happen now is to link the farmer so that KVIS can help them to produce the quality, and then you link with the farmer who already is exporting to ensure that they take their products to the exporter, because that is what actually this caller is asking, because after you harvest, then where do you take?
Yeah.
So there is an ongoing framework that we are trying to establish to see that companies like Sunripe, which are exporting a lot of avocados and maybe candy and others, are linked to producers, because there's a question also of quantities. Because China is 1.3 billion people, and from our visit to China recently, a Chinese child takes an avocado in the morning before they go to school, and in the evening. It's part of
their diet.
Yes, in fact, even the old are encouraged to take avocado. So this is going to be massive consumption, even in China alone. So you can imagine our supply to Africa continent. So there is need for that contracting to be done, where big companies will be contracting small farmers and small companies.
And that is what
allow me to add this, because this is important. It's not that we don't have sufficiency of exporters to export avocados. I mean, he's here, he can tell you. The trouble we have is that the smallholder farmers, like the gentleman Korir who was called from Olenguruoni, they're operating on their own. I mean, an exporter cannot send a lorry to go and collect avocado from a smallholder farmer who has a quarter an acre. Yeah. We need farmers to get together into cooperatives or groups that can be then contracted by the exporters, because when you have smallholder farmers all over, and it becomes logistically difficult. It's basically a nightmare for an exporter to organize them. So this is where we are saying, yes, we appreciate that agriculture is involved. Can the county governments, working with the State Department of Cooperatives, agree to have all these farmers in groups, in cooperatives, so that it becomes easier for the exporters to reach them?
Yeah, Maina, what have you been facing? Because you're one of them.
Yes, first I want to talk about the seedlings because it's critical. The avocado tree will probably give you production for almost 20-25 years.
20-25 years, one tree?
One tree. So the fundamental thing is if you don't get the seedling right, then everything goes wrong. And what we found in Kenya today, everybody has become an expert in avocados. From the market, to the salons, to the churches, to everywhere. And now the governors have gone into it distributing seedlings. But the quality of the seedlings, nobody knows. So the issue is, not only for our case, not only do we do quality seedlings, but we also train farmers how to plant, and then we give them that support throughout the 3 years from planting to first harvest.
When you say quality seedlings, what guarantee, which body has verified that your seedlings are quality? Or is there something you look for?
There are two things.
Two things.
One, when you're doing seedlings, first you use the local seed to make the seedling, what we call Puebla. You look for that jumbo, the local avocado, plant it, and then when it germinates and grows to about 45-50 centimeters, you graft it. Now, what you graft with is what changes that avocado to this. So many of the guys with nurseries do not have trees like this that will give you quality science. So that's one. Two, we've got KEFIS, which certifies to make sure that you are doing it in the right way, and you also have got HCD. Now the issue is, after the seedling is sold to the farmer, he needs to be told how then do you plant it. Spacing is critical. If you don't do the right spacing, like so many farmers have done, then you find that after 5 years, your trees canopies have joined. You can't get any production. So there are issues, not just the seedling. There's a connected value chain of doing it right all the way.
Are you working with any smallholder farmers?
We are working with smallholder farmers, and we've been able to do about almost 3,000-4,000 acres in the last 5 years. So we've started now harvesting from those farmers that we started with. We did the seedlings, we sold to them, we showed them to plant, how to take care of the trees. Now we started harvesting.
I want to talk critically. Let me just explain the procedures, because there are a lot of opportunities for investment in these areas. My job is to regulate these people so that they do things right. So if you want to have a very good nursery, let me just start from the opportunities for investment. You register yourself with HCD, as a person who is doing some businesses in horticulture. And then after that, you come to KEFIS for registration for certification. And what we require from a nursery is that you need to register your nursery with HCD. And for us now, we'll train you. The procedure he has said is okay. We use the traditional plants because they are resistant to root diseases as the root stock. And then after that, if you want any of the varieties you get from orchards that have been certified actually for Hass, like the one in the picture there, that is Hass, and or like the fruits we have put here. Those orchards now that are known to be producing those fruits, you get the scion, we call it scion, the top, you graft it now to that, and you can get your good nursery. But now the problem we have, as he said, is anybody picking any plants and selling. So as KEFIS, we certify those nurseries that are registered by HCD, and we give them a certificate. So if you really want to plant good materials, check the nursery that you are buying your seedlings from. Is it being certified by KEFIS? And one of the things you can do is either check their certificates or even call KEFIS to verify whether that is one of the nurseries that has been certified. In fact, we are planning to just clean up that list and put it in our website.
Are you in all the 47 counties? Do you have a presence there? If someone is watching us now from
Nakuru, for example.
Very far interior. How can they, and they don't come to Nairobi, how can they get that information?
Okay, we have regional offices in Kitale, Embu, Mombasa, Nairobi we are there, Nakuru.
Okay.
Yeah,
But
so
not
we
in
have
far-flung
in
areas.
6 regions.
In
Yes.
6 regions, so
Yes.
they should travel there to...
But we are also in Timawa, Nyeri. We have smaller one. We are also at the border points because we also inspect imports and exports.
All right. And
I just wanted to add something about production, now that we're talking about production.
Yeah.
You know, many Kenyans treat avocado like a wild plant. It's important to realize that avocado is just like any other agricultural enterprise that needs to be fed. Now, plant nutrition is very important. It's important to apply manure. It's important to apply the various types of fertilizers that will enable the fruit to be able to grow. In fact, smallholder farmers currently are growing the small sizes. A county like Murang'a, for example, probably 70% of what they're producing are small sizes. What an exporter needs, what the market needs are the big sizes. You can't get big sizes if you don't properly take care of your plant, because then it has issues to do with flowering, flower set, and the productivity per tree depends on how well that particular tree has been fed.
All right.
The other issue is the management of pests and diseases that are even preventing us from accessing markets or losing markets.
Okay. I think coming back to
All right.
markets.
We have some feedback. Let's see if we can pick this up. I know there's a lot to learn about this topic. Let's take a look at what our viewers are saying on via SMS and social media as well. Let's have the first one up. And
Nixon Dugire from Kindaruma says most countries in Europe started rejecting the Kenyan avocados due to challenges like fruit shape. Now we face China. Is this being addressed, and how? Madam Esther, I think that is for you. Fruit shape and why, when the rejection came from China and whether it's been rectified.
America Kenya from Narok says, is it a fact that avocados burn the excess fats in our bodies? Does its consumption stimulate pimples in our faces? What's the reality in it when it comes to ladies' hair growth? So fats, pimples, and hair. Okay,
Hosea,
wow.
Hosea will take that.
All right.
And we have Edward Taita Taveta. I'm aspiring to try avocado exporting. What are the requirements as regards to licenses, etc.? Be what that's for you.
All right.
And we still have tweets coming through.
At Olo Age Dist. Wow. I'm waiting for the panel to talk of water challenges in avocado production. Avocado production is about water. 25 millimeters a week will be excess water. One should be careful when having excess water to avocados because it increases the chances of phytophthora. Phytophthora.
Phytophthora. That's a pest.
Yeah, no,
A pest.
It's a root disease.
It's a root disease.
I'll talk about that.
Okay.
All right. And we have Engineer Lazaro says, where do we get seedlings? What are the requirements to be an avocado farmer? Which type of fertilizer is to be used, and how long will I wait to start harvesting?
A few of those have been tackled, but we'll see what else. Okay, one last one here. D wins. Unfortunately, the big fish are the ones who will benefit in this avocado export business, obtaining licenses, permit to export. The biggest letdown of them all, shipping costs will make it difficult for small traders. So how can small traders cash in on these new markets, even if they don't have big pockets or big farms as well? What can they do? Okay.
So we have to take a break right now. Then when we come back, I think we'll bring up the tweets one at a time and have them answered, because there's so many people talking about phytophthora, that one.
And someone saying, will it make them have longer hair?
Yeah, someone wondering.
This fruit is, it has achieved near magical status.
I know, right?
Across the world. That's what we'll be talking about.
And then our colleagues say we're going to gideri hapa juu, so we just.
We're back in just a bit.